Yay! What's up, everybody? Waiting for you guys to jump on. Hey, I'm a few minutes late. I just finished a previous training and it was phenomenal. It went really, really well, but it cut a little bit over. So I just spent an hour and a half doing a presentation that I thought would be an hour. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. So I want to hear how you guys are doing. I want to hear how your Thanksgiving was. I want to hear what kind of special plans you have. I've got a few announcements that I want to share with you. And hey, Mina, you found us. What's up? Yeah, I was a little bit late. You're like, where y'all at? What's up? Okay. Today, hold on. Today is apple juice, y'all. Fresh squeezed. I live the pampered life, don't I? All right. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover, and I want to hear from you guys about where you're at. I'm going to try to answer questions today as well, if you guys have any questions. We're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to make some decisions today, and I'll make a few fun announcements. I'll wait for a few more people to jump on before we get the announcements going. Jedi Master Knolly, thank you. I'm here. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll just share with you real quick how mine went. I ate all the stuff that I'm not supposed to eat. Y'all know I'm a wannabe vegan, right? I'm like the vegans would take my vegan card if they saw the stuff I ate on Thanksgiving, because I ate it all. Boy, you gotta live a little, guys. It's fun to live sometimes. And so we had at my nephew's house, we had Thanksgiving, about 15 of us. And then we went to some friend's house and had again in the evening. Boy, I tell you, that's the one time of year where you can get excused for eating like a pig, I guess you call it. So Valerie, what's up, Valerie? How are you? Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of announcements, some big announcements, and I want to weigh in with you guys on a couple things, and then we'll get in. I think Patty Lynn was going to send me a list of stuff that, in case we need to talk about something. Let me know if you sent that to me, Patty Lynn. Just put it in the chat box and I'll go find it. Like a little list of things that we need to cover. And if any of you guys have anything you want to cover, let me know. So I told you I had a big announcement about Josie. Okay, so now it's finally safe for me to be able to make the announcement. If you haven't heard it already, it's been leaking out here and there. So Christy thought that the announcement was that we're going to have a baby. That's a big no. That is not happening. Okay. I've tried for many years not to have children, been very successful at it. And so I don't intend to start my brood at almost 50. I'm going to be 50. Nothing wrong with it. That's what you choose to do, but it's not my choice. So the big announcement is that Josie is getting her real estate license. Yep, she's getting her real estate license. So I got to tell you, the funny thing about EXP, it makes people do things. And so she's, for the first time, I mean, I was with Remax for 5 years. I was very successful there. I was with Keller Williams for 10 years. And actually was a stint with Prudential for like less than 3 months. But she never was motivated to get her license, but now she's ready. So that's going to be a lot of fun. She's already taken all the classes. In Texas, we have 6 classes that you have to take. And she's taken all the classes. And so now I've got another guy. And so she just has to take her test. Now I've got another guy that's going to be joining me soon that has never sold real estate before either. He's getting his license. I'll share that with you soon. And I think he's going to tear it up. We'll see. The proof is in the pudding, right? Yeah, go Josie. So she's going to become a mentorship master. She can't even be a mentorship master right now because she can't log in. She doesn't have an account, right? But soon she will be. So that's the first big announcement. The second big announcement is I've been telling you guys I've been working on launching a new company, but I haven't told you what it is. I think Patty Lynn, I told her. So I'm launching a new coaching company. Okay. That coaching company technically launches today-ish. Will probably launch next week. It's called Quantum 10X Coaching. You've probably heard the name, but I haven't really done anything with it. But here's the thing. So a lot of people want to be part of Mentorship Masters, but they can't be unless they're part of my revenue share group. Okay. So it's created this sort of a bit of friction, not friction, but for example, like when we go to the conferences and stuff, people come up to me like, hey, how can I become a mentorship master? I'm like, you can't. You know, the only way you can become a mentorship master is if you join EXP and name me as your sponsor. But they're like, but I'm already at EXP. I'm like, too bad. So that's the way Mentorship Masters is. It's always going to be for, you know, my downline or my revenue share group, if you will. That's Mentorship Masters. That's what it is. It's my revenue share group. I invest in you guys. I want you guys to succeed. And that's why I spend time with you to help make you successful. But Quantum 10X, I'll share with you the video that I just created earlier today later. So you can kind of understand the whole Quantum 10X. But what Quantum 10X is teaching, basically you guys get it for free. You know that. Anything that Uncle Knolly does, y'all get it. Y'all already know that already. So, but Quantum 10X is going to be weekly coaching in the quantum field. So it's going to be all, by the way, the scripture is a quantum physics book. A lot of people don't know that. But so I'm going to be able to teach the real stuff that gets the real results. Okay, because everything else, I got to tell you, everything else is like scratching the surface. If you don't understand, let me put it this way. It's kind of like, have you ever bought like a new phone, like a new iPhone or a new TV or a new appliance of some kind, and they have this thin film on the outside of it? You remember that? Like you could, it basically has this, sometimes you guys will leave it on for like a week and not even know it's there. Then it starts peeling. And you say, oh, there's something here. And it's like a real thin film that protects the device that you purchased. Have you ever done that? Well, here's the thing. Whenever you're learning information from people, okay, that information that you're learning is just like the thin film that's on the outside of the device. Okay. So you're like, man, I want to learn how to take more listings, or I want to learn how to contact my sphere of influence. I want to learn a new script. I want to learn all this stuff. It's like the how to do this, how to do that, that's the thin film that's on the outside of the device. That's all that is. So the majority of training that you receive, I don't care what it is, that's all you're getting is the thin film. But you never really get into the device. The quantum field is actually the device itself. Okay. All that other stuff that we learn is like the thin film on the outside. When you get in the quantum field, that's when you do stuff like you start to manifest reality. So that's the stuff I like to teach. I get excited about it, but I don't necessarily want to bog you guys down with that kind of training. So you'll still have access to Quantum 10X to get that training. And then we're going to keep this channel for our real estate training. And what I've done is, so the way it's going to look, because I know that the quantum training is what you really need and what's really going to create success for you, I'm going to be doing those every single week, okay, on our Quantum 10X channel. It's a completely different page. And we'll probably be doing those as Zoom calls, probably. We'll see. But then I'm going to go back to the basics of teaching you guys listings on this channel, okay? So that means, and so what that really means is that for our Mentorship Masters call that we do like this, we're going to move that to twice a month, okay? Twice a month. Patty Lynn, take notes on this because this is a lot of new stuff. So Mentorship Masters will start meeting twice a month, and we'll meet for an hour or whatever, about an hour. And then on the other coaching, we're going to meet 4 times a month. Okay. So I know it's a lot of coaching, but the mindset and the quantum stuff is what you really need. But this is going to be the how-to, and I've created a curriculum that's a 1-year curriculum for both. So Quantum 10X has a 1-year curriculum. And in the listings, success with listings, I've created a 1-year curriculum where I'm going to be able to deep dive with you on all the specifics of turning you into a real estate rock star every single week. So when we have this channel open, and we won't even be talking about lead generation. We've already done that. We'll be talking about the mechanics of success in the real estate game. So that's how that's going down. So you're going to get 6 coaching calls. Did I do 7? I just did 7, didn't I? Why did I do 7? So what's up, y'all? Okay, so you're going to get 6 coaching calls a month. Plus, don't forget that you know, you should be on the Exponential Collaboration Group, which meets weekly as well. That's on Wednesdays, because those guys are phenomenal. They keep it down to about 30 minutes. It's hard to do for me. So that's a big announcement I wanted to make for you guys as well. The other thing I wanted to, let me see if Patty had any. Yeah, okay, here we go. See. Yeah, so Patty Lynn wanted me, she's talking about the whole concept of the attraction site. I'll throw that in there. So the attraction site, that those of you that have one, some of y'all have it and haven't done anything with it. Now, we were going to do a thing where we made it to where you had to have at least one recruit or convert, if you will, before you get access to an attraction site. Okay. By the way, Mina's already got 3. What's up, Mina? She's way up there. And then William has 8. And then we have several others that have 2. Okay. Sharon Jackson has 2 and some others. So originally I was going to do it where you had to at least bring one person over before, because it's not easy to build those. I mean, like, it takes a little work to do those. I'm just handing them out like candy, but you got to use them, guys. You know, and there's a video that I created in your portal called Attraction Secrets. Attraction Secrets. So in Attraction Secrets, that's where you actually learn how to attract. One of the techniques that I teach also, I think I've taught you guys. So I like to send out 3 texts a day. Okay, write that down. Send out 3 texts a day, because a lot of people are like, man, I don't have time to do attraction. Well, this makes it easy. Just, okay, think of 3 people a day that you can send a text out to. And what I'll do is I'll post in the thread here. I'll post what text I send. I've got a copy of it. I'll pull it up and text it later. Add it. And essentially, though, the gist of the text is, hey guys, it's me, Knolly, or you're talking to a specific person. Now think about it. You're meeting agents at open houses. You're meeting them at realtor events. And if you're not, you should make a point of going to these things just so you meet people, meet agents. And when you send out the text, you're not specifically trying to recruit them. The text is basically like, hey, I'm so happy we met at the party, or it was good to see you at such and such title, or hey, it was great to see you at the open house, or whatever. Or hey, we used to work together at, hey, remember me? We used to work together at Knolly Williams, whatever. And I know this opportunity is not for you because I know you're happy where you are, but I was just wondering who you know that might be looking to join a phenomenal group like Mentorship Masters, which we have, with a best-selling author that comes to us and gives us information that's helping us be successful every single week. Okay, that's kind of the gist of the message. So it's indirect. The reason I made it indirect is because the person doesn't have to feel like you're trying to recruit them. You're saying, hey, I know this is not for you. That's called a takeaway, by the way, in sales. So whenever I'm teaching, I'll tell people, hey, I've got this coaching program over here. It's $25,000, but that's not for you. You know, most of you guys couldn't. What do you mean that's not for me? I think I should, it gets them a little riled up a little bit, So it's a psychological technique. You say, I know this isn't for you because I know you're happy where you are, but I thought that anybody that if you could direct them my way. Here's a video that explains the opportunity. And then you send them the video where I explain about the Knolly team, or you send them Brent Gold's video, or whatever video you like. It's just a chance to get them to watch the video, because a lot of people don't watch the video. And then you try to see if you can do a follow-up call with them. There's a guy that I talked to about joining EXP. He did not join EXP. He joined Compass. Okay. He's not really, his head isn't really thinking about the revenue share. So they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So he joined Compass, but he's already referred 2 agents to me that are going to be joining Mentorship Masters, even though he's not with us, right? All because he knows me, he knows my reputation. I sent him the text and he's like, oh yeah, I'll send you people, no problem, So that's a great technique, but be sure you're using that asset if you have it. So we got some congrats for Josie. I'll let her know about that. Thank y'all. Thank you. On the Quantum 10X, coaching is in an hour. Yeah, the Quantum 10X is just like what we have here. The other thing that I introduced to Quantum 10X is I'm going to try to keep it less than an hour. Actually, I'm going to try to keep my training to about 20 minutes. Don't quote me on that, because but I am going to try to keep it shorter because I can get long-winded, and I think if I can just get you guys the information and get out, I don't want you to be overcoached. So I'm going to try to keep it to about 20-30 minutes and then open it up for Q&A. That's the format that I'd like to do. I'd like to do that as much as possible with this as well, if I can. Quantum 10X is not one-on-one coaching. It's group coaching, just like this, but they're going to have accountability partners in Quantum 10X as well, same program. Except the difference is I'm creating a new system where I have what we call a success tracker. So that's going to be a sheet. This is going to be very, very, very helpful for you guys. So let me share with you how I created this. This is very important. So thanks for reminding me of that, Mina. So back in the day, I never took vacations, ever. And so when Josie and I finally decided that we were going to start doing vacations, because I had the time and the freedom to do it, and I realized it was actually a good thing to do. I used to buy into the lie that said you had to hustle, you had to grind, you had to work 80 hours a week, no vacations, get on it, get that, get your, that was all a lie. I didn't, I found out that was false. So when we started doing vacations, one of the biggest issues that I had was packing. Like, I didn't know how to pack. And so it sounds dumb, but it was really, really frustrating. And so I was like, how in the world am I going to be gone for 2 weeks? Like, what do I take? And so because I'm a systems guy, I'm like an engineer, it was very, very, very stressful, the packing. And so what I resolved to do to eliminate the stress was I created a system where I wrote down everything that I took. And then when I went on vacation, I would cross out the things I didn't use, and I would add the things I needed. Like, I'd be like, man, I should have brought this, or crap, I didn't bring that. So I would add it to my list. Now, to this day, I have a vacation checklist on my iPhone. So I don't go on any vacation. I don't think about, like essentially I have zero thought when it comes to vacation. I just pull up the checklist and I go down the checklist and I pack. It eliminates 100% of thought and 100% of effort. And so I thought that it would be good to give you guys something like that, not a vacation checklist, but a checklist of what to do each day when you get in your lead generation bunker. So I created a success tracker worksheet that I'm going to be rolling out with Quantum 10X. And all you have to do is download your success tracker the week before. It's dated, so it'll be specifically dated like December 12, 13, 14, 15, Monday. This is what you do. And so it'll have specific activities that when you sit down, this is what you're supposed to do today. And tomorrow when you sit down, so it eliminates thinking. All you have to do is look at the sheet and do what it says. That's it. So then you send your success tracker to your accountability partner, or if you have an accountability group, and then you guys hold each other accountable to what you say you want. At the beginning of every week, there's one big goal. Like, you have one goal for that week. Okay. So I'm going to introduce you guys to quarterly promotions. That's going to come later. You're not ready for that yet. What you mean I'm not ready? Jesus would say stuff like that to the disciples. He'd be like, yeah, y'all ain't ready for this yet. What do you mean we ain't ready? We're ready. Get them excited, right? So that's what's on the horizon, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So Mina said, now the other thing I want to mention is that as we're going, I'm going to start you guys fresh in January with Quantum 10X. As we kind of finish out the rest of this year, I know a lot of people are, on vacation, they're kind of checked out, but I want you to be singular or focused. And I want you to be thinking, what is 2020 going to be like for me? Think about it. 2020, it's a year of vision, a year of clarity, a year of perspective. 2020. What does that mean to you? And I want you to start being introspective during this time and prayerful. Okay. And even when you go in your lead generation bunker, you can spend part of the time just in meditation and prayer and say, what is 2020 going to be for me? Is this the year that I'm finally going to be successful? Is this the year where I'm finally going to take it to this level? That's up to you, really. So I want you to start thinking about what 2020 is going to be. I'm going to do one more class of the 27 marketing ideas, because that was a 12-part series and we only did 11 parts of it. So I'm going to do one more series on that. I'll probably do it next week, where I'll teach the final part, the final hour of the book. And then we'll kind of take it easy during the rest of the year. We'll still have calls, I think, if you guys vote for them, but then we'll start fresh with a whole new curriculum in January for having a successful listing practice, and a whole new curriculum for transforming your mind. Okay. All right. So Mina says she's talking to 2 people at lunch next Friday about EXP. Cool. What you wanted, one's a new agent, one's Remax. So what you guys want to do too is you want to think about when you're talking to new people, always follow the model of having them watch the video first. If you don't follow that model, it's going to be a 2-hour conversation. I guarantee you. Because I've had those conversations and I'm like, did you watch the video? Yeah, I watched it. Then we get on for 2 hours while I share with them the same stuff that they could have got in 30 minutes in the video. So make sure they watch the video before you get them on the phone. That's super critical. When you get them on the phone, let me say this. When you get them on the phone, a recruit, there really is only 2 questions. Okay, number 1, what are your goals? What do you want? Okay, what do you want and what do you have right now? Like, what are your goals? Where are you at? What do you want? Number 2, what questions do you have for me? Okay, I was on the phone with and these, by the way, these calls can still go for 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour. It doesn't matter how long the call is, just the basic information they should already have before you get on the call with them. Okay. I was on the call with a guy and his wife last night, both real estate agents. One's a pharmacist and the other's an agent, but they both have a license. So they both are joining Quantum 10X. And I spent an hour with them answering just questions that they had. But mostly we were just chatting it up about what they wanted. Where are they at? What are their goals? And a lot of times they'll try to lead the conversation, which is, I have a knack for doing this because I've coached so long, but they'll try to do things like they'll say, what's different about what you offer than what I have right now? Because right now I have this and that. Well, I'm not going to go down that line because that's not what I don't want to talk about that right now. So I just don't answer the question. One of the funniest things that Jesus did, if you go look at the scriptures, just read the book of John, he didn't answer people's questions. They would walk up to him and they would say, hey, master, I got a question about this. What should I do about that? And Jesus would look and he'd say, there was a certain man that did that. What, you started to tell a story when I'm asking you a question? Or he would ask a question to answer their question. He very rarely would he actually answer anybody's question. Okay. I don't either. So I politely take them in the direction that I want to go. Okay. People need to be led, guys. If you start getting on a call and people start throwing stuff at you, next thing you know, you're down in their territory. I'll give you an example. Last night, she was telling me, the wife was telling me, well, we really like Keller Williams and I've been there for a year already. And I don't just like jumping ship on stuff and this and that. And I was like, wow, that's great. I was with Keller Williams for 10 years. I loved it every minute. I'm glad that you love Keller Williams. Now, I'm not going to defend. They're on the phone with me. They wanted to talk to me. So I'm not going to go into a defensive about why I'm better than Keller Williams. That's not what this is about. This is either right for them or it's not. You see what I'm saying? So when she started going down that road, I said, that's really great. I'm glad to hear it. Let me ask you a question. What kind of production are you currently doing? And then I just let her talk. What's she doing? Okay. So, all right, I'm taking notes. Okay, that's what production you're doing. Okay, great. What would you like to do? Oh, I really would like to do this. Okay. So you've been at Keller Williams for a year and you haven't gotten that, but you love Keller Williams. There's nothing wrong. I love the company too, but clearly you're not reaching your goals. Tell me more about that. And then she started telling me all this stuff about, going to the office. Nobody wants to help her. The broker, well, she wasn't saying that at first, right? But see, the quality of your life, Tony Robbins says this a lot. The quality of your life is determined by the kinds of questions that you ask. Okay. And a lot of you even do this with your clients. I've seen you guys do it. The client starts asking all these questions. Well, how much do you charge? Well, why would I answer that question? Okay. First of all, if you don't hire me, you're not going to pay anything. So what difference does it make what I charge? I mean, I don't tell them that, but think about it. If somebody calls me on the phone and they want to know what my fee is before I come out, what I do to deflect that, I just say, you know what? Everything in this business is negotiable. You know that. So we can discuss that if you decide to hire me. You may not even like me. Okay. But let me ask you this about your house. Okay. And then I just go with my question. And then they throw a question out. If the question's irrelevant or I don't want to answer, it's inappropriate, I just glaze over it. I say, that's a great question you asked. When we sit down, we're looking at a little deeper. Like, what's my home worth? That's a great question. And prices continue to go up and some areas are going down. I'm going to do all the research and we can look at the data together when I sit down, when I come out to your house tomorrow at 5:00. But the question I have for you right now is this, and then I ask my question. Okay. A lot of times people will try to lead the conversation. You can gently guide the person where you want to go. Okay. That's very important for you to know. So Mark is asking about, so this is turning into a recruiting call. I like it. I like talking about recruiting. Mark is asking about independent brokerages. Do you suggest an indirect approach, a more direct approach? So if you're going directly to, if you know that the person, it depends on the rapport you have with that person. That's all it depends on, the rapport. So think about it this way. If you have a close rapport, like I have a close rapport with several agents that I've been talking to, okay, very close. So I can just talk to them like, man, you need to be here, dude. Come on, man. What's up? Here's the thing. People are moved by two things. Number one is emotion. That's the number one thing that gets people to move, emotion. Number two is logic, okay? Logic. Most of you are trying to get people on logic when they're not motivated by logic. They're motivated by emotion. How do they feel? I'll even ask a person sometimes, what would your life be like if you were to be able to have me personally, my personal help and mentoring? Well, just imagine what your life could be like, Now, obviously they have to do what I tell them to do, right? You guys have to do the work, but they start imagining, oh yeah, I could do this and I could do that. I could do that. Oh, that'd be great. So I get them more from because almost everybody makes decisions based on, the way they feel or their emotion, and then they justify it with logic. So what happens is when they start getting cold feet, that's when they're like, well, wait a minute, is he really going to do what he said he's going to do? Man, is he really going to be available if I need, they start thinking like that, even though emotionally they're already ready. So with independent brokerages, you have to, what I would say, if you have an independent brokerage that you're going after, you need to call in the big dogs. I don't go after any independent brokerage without personally going to my upline. Okay. I won't even approach them, even if I know them. Like when Will Gilliam joined, I know Will. I've talked to Will before. He's been on my mailing list for 5 years. He's read all my books. He's practiced all my stuff. And he had an independent brokerage with 16 agents. I did not. Now I called Will initially just to talk to him, just to chat with him as a brother, just to talk to him, see where his head was at and everything. Now he reached out to me first. But if I was to reach out to someone first, I wouldn't do it without my big dogs. Okay. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm still a little dog. I'm just a little chihuahua. That's what I am, boy. I'm calling in the pit bull. I'm gonna call in Kevin, Fred. I'm gonna call in Curtis Johnson. I might even go all the way up to Jay Kinder because he's in our upline. Okay. And even further up, we got Brent Gove. He's way up there, right? But they'll help us. Any help that we need, you call in somebody that's already done it. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I know that Fred and Kevin have already brought in multiple independent brokerages. So why am I going to try to do that myself? I'm just going to leverage them and say, hey man, I'm going after this independent brokerage. Here's where I think they are. I mean, you can have the initial conversation with them yourself, and here's where they are. Okay, I would always have them watch the video first, maybe have a conversation with them and just say, hey, would you mind having a conversation with my mentor, Knolly Williams, who's a best-selling author, and along with his mentors who sell over $100 million of real estate a year. They do over 450 deals a year. We would like to all get on a Zoom call. And you know, whether or not you join EXP is irrelevant. You're still going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a ton of good stuff spending, 30, 40 minutes with these guys. That's the kind of conversation I would have. And that's what the two brokerages that we've had come over, one of them still in the enrolling process. That's how we've done it. Is I've had the big guns, and they have no problem. We'll do a Zoom call with me, Kevin, Fred, and Curtis. I mean, they've brought over multiple big teams, big groups. Don't do it alone. Christy said, and by the way, you guys still have me, even if you just have one person that you're trying to recruit. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm here for. You need me to talk to them, or you need me to close them. Like you can set them up. Anytime in sales, they have what we call a setter and a closer. Okay. A lot of you guys, let me say this about sales. There's a quote. I don't want to misquote this because I think it's really good. I think this is going to help you guys a lot. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can find, here, I know it. By the way, I read 1 to 2 books a week, so you guys don't have to. I'll give you a book of the month, but I'm reading 1 or 2 books a week. If I was to show you just the books that came in this week, I don't have them all in here, but 4 Disciplines of Execution. Okay, most of you would fight me tooth and nail trying to get you to read all this crap, but I read it and I basically give you the cliff notes of what I learned, so you don't have to. I'm just crazy like that. I like reading. Okay, listen to this. This is from Myron Golden. Okay, another one of my mentors. I love this quote from him. Most people think selling is talking to people. Oh, no. Most people think that selling is talking people into buying things they don't want, don't need, and can't afford. Okay, let me say it again. Most people think that selling is talking people into things they don't want, don't need, and can't afford. That's not selling. That's not selling. Okay. Selling is uncovering the value of what we have to offer so well that people are happy to exchange the money they have in their pockets for the value we've revealed. Let me say it again. Selling is uncovering the value of what we have to offer so well that people are happy to exchange the money that they have in their pockets for the value we've revealed. Okay. All selling is, guys, just listen to this. All selling is revealing value. Okay. And when I sell EXP or Mentorship Masters, I'm just revealing the value. Hey guys, here's what you're going to get when you join. Okay. It's revealing the value. And they're like, wow, like if I'm selling a product for $1,000, it's like they have to, in their mind, they have to say the $1,000 that's in my pocket is worth way less than what he's giving me over here. Okay. So we're just exchanging. I'm exchanging what they have, for what I have. That's it. And if you've read The Secret to Permanent Prosperity, you already know the secret, right? It's all about value. You create value and you receive value in exchange. That's how you get permanent prosperity. So it's not selling them. You can't sell someone on EXP. You can't sell them on Mentorship Masters. It's either for them or it's not. That's why I don't do any selling. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? And number one. Number two, what questions do you have about the opportunity? Whenever I pitch EXP, I call it an opportunity because that's what it is. Hey, do you have any questions about this opportunity? What questions do you have about the opportunity? It's not a company. It's not a real estate it's not a franchise for one thing. It's not a real estate company. It's an opportunity. Hey, what questions do you have around the opportunity? That's what it is, guys. All right. So cool. So Christy's meeting with someone to bring them on board. I got a question for you guys. Do you guys like this format of a meeting, or do you like Zoom better? Okay, because remember, we came to those of you that hadn't experienced it on the Zoom, you may not know the difference. But for those of you that have been with me on the Zoom, let me know what you think in the chat box. Do you like, now if you're driving, don't let me know what you think. But do you like this better, or do you like it better on Zoom? Because I've been kind of debating if we're going to switch back to Zoom or not. While you guys answer, be sure to put your question in the chat box. If it doesn't matter, just say don't care. I'm gonna address. I told Mark Phillips I would address. By the way, what's up, Mark? Mark is one of our newer members. He lives in Hawaii. We actually have 2 members in Hawaii now. So we got a tax write-off, y'all. We gotta go give Mark a big hug, and you're good. Just talk about Mentorship Masters a little bit. Whenever you go to Hawaii, tax write-off, done. Okay, so Mark was asking, Mark, you had a question for me about, what was your question? It just threw me off. If you remember what your question was, Mark, because I promised you I would address your question. Oh, I know what it was. Never mind, Mark, I remember now. So Mark wants to so Mark is licensed in New York, and he's getting his license in Hawaii. So he moved from New York to Hawaii. So he wants to run a referral-based business. Okay, a referral-based business. What a referral-based business is, and by the way, they can be super lucrative. For those that know how to do it, remember, he who holds the leads is king. Okay, so with a referral-based business, you just have to know how to lead generate. That's it. If you know how to lead generate, like if all you do is refer, like if you don't actually practice real estate, you just do referrals, then instead of you doing 2 hours of lead generation, you're going to do 4 hours, because you're not going on appointments in the afternoon. You're just generating leads. That's all you do. So you do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon of lead generation. That's it. And the kind of lead generation that you do is the same stuff that I teach in Triple My Listings. Same stuff, right? You might end up building sales funnels when you start getting more advanced with it, but for now, it's all about just generating leads, and then you're basically finding good partners to refer those leads to, whether they be listing leads or buyer leads. So that's basically how you run a successful referral business. I have a buddy of mine that I think he's still doing it, Mark Martin. He got into a very lucrative referral business, and that's pretty much all he does. I mean, you can get it to the point, guys. Let me share this with you. You can get it to the point, Mark, where you actually have VAs on the phone doing nothing, banging up the phones, and they're outbound sales specialists, and they're really, really good at getting people on the phone. Like, for example, the gal that works for me, she just celebrated 5 years working for me. She's in the Philippines, knowing me. Some of you guys may have talked to her, and she was trained by Expedia, okay, and Booking.com. Those people trained her on how to talk on the phone, and so she can do any kind of calls for me if I need them to be done, right? So you can get people on the phone making those calls, and then you just have a whole referral based business. In the short sale days, I did tons of that. Mina says on the Zoom thing, Tamia says either one's fine. Charles likes this one. Mina says, I like being able to talk because sometimes I have to listen only. You don't like just having to be on mute, right, Mina? I get that. I like that. Patty Lynn says, I like that it's a simple upload for reference, easier to find. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll keep weighing in on that conversation. The one thing that I like better about Zoom, there's 2 things. One is that if I want to jump on my computer and show you guys something, then I can quickly just jump. I can just do it. Like I can just switch my screen over, and then I can just show you, okay, go to this folder, go to this, that. So that's one thing, along with when you talk about screen share, being able to have a PowerPoint presentation, I don't know if that's even meaningful for you guys, but if you would like me to do this more of a PowerPoint where I actually go through slides and show, that Zoom allows you to do that. The second thing I like about it is that you can unmute yourself and ask questions, instead of putting them in the chat box. It says, if anyone wants to run paid Facebook ads and wants to know how to go about it, I have one running that's on 5,000 clicks and 17 leads. Woo, sweet. So you're going to start teaching that, Mina? What's up? How you going to get with it on that? We can turn that into a product. 5,000 clicks in 17 days. Hey guys, Knolly Williams here, and today we're going to learn how Mina Slaughter got 5,000 clicks in 17 days. Can you believe it? Well, I'm going to reveal it to you right now. Just kidding, Mina. But we could totally partner up on that. And y'all know I love selling. I love selling because selling is, a lot of people don't like selling, but selling is what gets people into your world. See, what Jesus had to do before anybody entered his world, he had to sell. Now, he was pretty cool about it. He was pretty slick. He said, hey, I'm having dinner at your house tonight. And you over there, I want you to follow me. He was gangster about it. I say that. He was a little bit renegade. Just think about it. Jesus was an outlaw. When you look at it, he was pure and righteous, right? Without sin, but he acted a bit gangster about it. He's like, hey, I'm having dinner at your house. And by the way, I want you, he would just command people to do stuff. Of course, he's Jesus. He can do that, right? So I love selling because if you can't sell someone, then you can't transform their life. Let me say it again. If you can't sell them, you can't transform them. Every single one of you that's in Mentorship Masters was sold. I had to sell you to be here. Okay, you had to be sold to be here. And if I didn't sell you, if I was scared and timid, well, I don't like selling. I'm not going to sell anybody. Oh, I don't want to sell. If I was like that, you still be out there not having the information, So Patty Lynn said I sold her on Zoom. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll keep the conversation going on this. You guys can, if you're listening to this as a replay, put your comment down in the chat. I like jumping on here. I think it's super convenient, but there's some things about Zoom, because I've been using Zoom a lot lately. There's some things about it that I really like, and those are the two things I wanted to mention. So that's it, guys. If you have any other questions for me, the main thing I wanted to remind you to do is start thinking about 2020. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What kind of numbers do you want to hit? Don't just think about your financial goals, okay? But I want to know, what are your spiritual goals? What are your and you could even post them here in the thread. What do you spiritually? Where do you want to be? What do you want physically? What do you want emotionally? I'll do that myself as well. I'll post mine. And so you guys can get an example. You keep them pretty brief, or I might even start a new thread for this. But I want to know what your goals are, because in the quantum field, we can take your goals and dreams. And the Lord was inspiring me with this morning. I was waking up, and by the way, did you know that when you're waking up and when you're falling asleep, that's a really, 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 really special time that the mind is in an alpha state, and so it can actually receive information that is truth. Okay, so there's two things in this realm. There's truth and there's error. Okay, actually, falsehood does not exist. That's a whole nother conversation. But there is only truth. Okay, and so when we say false, let me give you an example. So a light bulb is either on or not on. Okay, there's no such thing as offness. Offness doesn't exist. You learn that from David Hawkins in Letting Go. So the electricity is always going. It's just that you've cut off the power to the supply. Okay, the electricity is always there, but you never turned it off. You just basically it's in a not on position, and that's the reason why everything in this realm is ones and zeros. Okay, we live in that sort of that grid where it's all ones and zeros. It's either it's open or closed, true or false. But false is that's a whole nother conversation. So what I want you guys to start doing when you're in that alpha state, when you start to wake up, is I want you to not allow the mind to take over, because the mind will immediately start to take over and throw 1,000 things in your head about what you have to do that day. Keep your mind clear and allow the Holy Spirit to speak and listen to that still small voice. Okay, because as soon as you start to wake up, oh, I got to do that, and I didn't do the laundry, and I wonder if I got to take the kids to school, and if so-and-so is sick. No. Just say, I'm open, speak to me, and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. And he'll start to share with you things that you can start to manifest into reality. Like my goal, I saw a vision of 10 million entrepreneurs worldwide that I'm going to be helping to claim their victory. Okay, that's the goal. So what did I do? I started thinking about the 10 million. Now, when you start thinking about how am I going to do it, look, a year ago, you didn't even know you were going to be in Mentorship Masters. Listen to a crazy cowboy. You had no idea about that. So the how is out of your hands. Don't even worry about that. It's none of your business. All you got to know is that what is your desire? What are you desiring? Where do you want to be? Okay. What does God have for you? Once you know that, then you just start to meditate on it and say, okay, 10 million. I don't know what it's going to be. But you'll get a phone call, you'll get an email, somebody will want you on their podcast, whatever. It can happen 1,000,000 different ways. Okay. So like all the variables of things that had to occur for you to be in this place right now are innumerable. Okay. In scripture, God says, my ways are beyond finding out. They're unknowable. God says. It's like his ways are, you can't even fathom the kind of stuff he does. When you think about how it is that you met your spouse, you couldn't have manufactured that. Yet you guys are trying to create all these circumstances to create an outcome that you don't even know if it's the right outcome or not. So and right before you go to sleep, you'll be in that state again, in that. Now you can put yourself into these states when you become more advanced, just like that. You can be on an airplane, don't matter where, you're constantly hearing, and that's called walking by the Spirit, by the way. That's when every single move that you make is Spirit-led. Okay. And that's the desire that I have for every one of you, because that's a beautiful place to live. I wake up every single day with a smile on my face. And you know what my one question is? It's just, I say, God, where do you want me to play today? Because every day to me is recess. Okay. It's like, God, where do you want me to play today? And that's what I want for you guys. That's what I'm leading you guys to. The difference is we're going to have a very curriculum-based program coming forward, so that I'm not just giving you knowledge nuggets. I'm giving you disseminated, although I think this stuff is pretty good for you too. So Lucas says he likes Zoom. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Lucas. He says he likes Zoom because you don't have to make comments to the public. I never thought about that. That's a good point, because in Zoom, you can make a private comment to me. I just have to be careful not to read them out loud. Hey, I love you guys. I wish you a very, very prosperous week. And remember, I'm going to start a thread where we talk about our goals for 2020. And I want to hear from you on what your goals are, so I can start praying and manifesting that with you. Love you. And we'll see you on the next one. God bless. We're going to have another one next week. God bless. See you then. Adios.